Welcome to 5 Minute Salute. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and joining me virtually from Golden, Colorado is Kevin McReynolds with SambaSafety. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here, Chris. How are you?
No, I'm doing great. You got a great haircut. My wife this morning is like, man, your hair is getting long. I'm like, wait till that man bun comes in, but probably won't go that far. So now thanks for taking time today to talk about you and your post-military journey. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally and what you do in the military?
Yeah, I'm here, born and raised in the Denver metro area. And at 18, I enlisted in the Colorado Army National Guard here as 11 Charlie. And doing some
for the audience, that's the really, really smart infantrymen. I just want to make sure they know that who they are. Because when I was a mortar platoon leader, they used to tell me all the time they were the smarter version of the infantry.
100%. Well,
yes, sir.
It didn't last long. When I was graduating CU Boulder, it turns out it made more sense to go 13 Mike, which is HIMARS. See a lot of that in the news in Ukraine, et cetera, for a deployment. Didn't have to find a job after college, so it worked out perfectly. Go right over to Iraq. So did several jobs as a 13 Mike with the 3rd 157 here out of Colorado, and did a lot of bad things to bad people over there and got to come home and get right into sales.
That's awesome. So let's talk about, SambaSafety. So tell us about your company and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, of course. So SambaSafety is really interesting. And what brought me here first and foremost was sort of what their mission is, right? We're promoting safer communities by reducing risk through data insights. And I know that sounds pretty, corporate, gimmicky sales, but what we're actually doing is making sure that drivers have accurate and compliant driving records so that at no point is a company having someone drive on company time with a suspended license or anything like that. And if folks are running into any sort of issues on their license or violations and anything like that, we have the training and data to help get them back on the road so they're not losing their jobs and not creating any unnecessary risk for those companies.
I can imagine. I'm just thinking out loud here. I was listening to talk radio because I'm old, right? Because the only people, as my kids say, well, I listen to talk radio are old people. But that was brought up. Some of the figures I saw for truck drivers and classified truck drivers, probably a CDL license, we're talking in the millions of people. So your service you're providing, I mean, that's huge, right? From a liability perspective. If you have folks working for you that aren't, legal, so to speak, I mean, that can have gigantic liability against the company, a potential lawsuit that could, especially if you're a mid, small size company, could put you out of business.
Oh, yeah. And it happens all the time, unfortunately. It's become such a litigious society that's exactly where folks are going. If anyone can think about a local construction company or general contractor that has their logo plastered all over their F-250s driving around town, you get in a bad fender bender, that person's immediately going after that logo. And we're here to try and help protect those folks. And most importantly, protect the drivers on the road too. They're getting home safe to their families and the companies, mitigating that risk. You're spot on.
Yeah. And now I'm just, as you're talking, I'm thinking about all of the different market segments. Because earlier I had a guest, he's in the medical, hospital, healthcare space. I mean, you have folks driving for that, the construction, just everywhere you have usually, some form of transportation as part of your company. So, what you guys service any type of client, any type of market, or any specific area you guys are concentrating in?
Yeah, great question. And definitely more of the former, right? Anyone who's got folks on the road. And you can look at it from a commercial auto perspective that hasn't been profitable in well over a decade. And anyone that's placing a commercial auto type policy, we're here to help make those more profitable and also less risky, right? So our biggest customers are household names, all the way from logistics to maybe gig type economy fields, and then everything in between with construction, energy, trucking, non-emergent medical transportation, heck, even big companies with big sales teams as well.
So it sounds, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, like you guys are nationwide, or are you guys in a specific region right now?
Yes, nationwide in terms of all 50 states. And then we also can bring in Canadian information. And we're also in the UK for telematics data aggregation and training. So work with some of the biggest grocers actually in the UK.
Wow. This is huge, man. I appreciate you coming in and explaining that. It's always fun. I meet interesting and really awesome people like yourselves. One, thank you for your service to our nation. But two, you're really keeping our community safe, right? And you're keeping businesses out of hot water, so to speak. So how do folks find SambaSafety?
It's a pretty easy name to remember, in my opinion. So obviously Google, you can find us there. I'm on every platform in terms of LinkedIn and other type of corporate pieces. Okay. And then ask your insurance provider. We work with the majority of the major carriers and brokers in the United States and outside of the United States. Yeah. Ask them what they think of MVR monitoring, motor vehicle record monitoring, and if it's something that could help them with their premiums or just reduce risk and promote safety. And everyone knows our name. We're the biggest MVR provider in North America.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on, Kevin. Thanks for your service to the nation. I'm going to send you another invite. I want to bring you on my other show, Tech Champions, because you're really in that tech space also, so we can kind of dig a little bit deeper into the tech that's enabling really business to grow. Because as I tell somebody, had a conversation about AI and machine learning, and I said, it's just kind of like the wave. We're on the beginning of the forming of the wave, and either A, you can ride the wave and be successful, or you can get swallowed by it and get sped out on the backside in a pretty ugly position if you're not smart, especially from a business perspective.
Right. Yeah, I'm going into my 8th year here in SaaS software type sales and have a lot of interesting insights into that. So that sounds great, Chris. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks again, Kevin, and look forward to staying in contact. And what we'll do, we'll take SambaSafety, we'll take that information, we'll put it in our show notes so folks can take a look, number one, at you and connect with you, and then number two, take a look at the company. And if they need your services, seek you out and make sure they're taking care of their business appropriately. Hey, folks, you like what you heard? Please share us, connect with us on LinkedIn and all other forms of social media. Everybody's got a great story. I look forward to all our future veterans come in and tell about that post-military journey and what they're doing to make their communities better, just like Kevin is doing out there in Golden, Colorado with his company. If you like what you heard, share us, and we'll see our next segment, Live with Gratitude.